trying to slickly take Kandi down? Is that what she's doing? And then even sprinkling a little bit of takedown on old Kenya. Is that what's going on, Marla? Did the peach make you want to take the girls down? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 14, episode 6, and I'm serious. It just seems as though this is bad. Like, this is bad. You all know when I do my reviews, generally I review what is being shown on the television. I don't mess with what's going on in real time. But with this situation, you can't help but touch on to the real-time stuff, because the stuff that is going on the show is unfolding, and then things are being added to it in real time. So there's all this little malicious stuff that Marlo is doing to Kandi, and now the show is starting to air. Kandi's starting to see where Marlo has said this and said that and done this and done that. And then in real time, she's going on doing interviews and throwing more daggers at Kandi. And I'm sure, and with Kandi, it's funny because we've seen her, she's like being blindsided. She's being blindsided. It is crazy. It's crazy. So that's my question. Is Marlo trying to take Kandi down? Do you think that you could become, what, I don't know, Nene? You know, everybody always, oh, Nene is the one that runs the show. It's all about Nene. Nene's that girl. Well, we all saw what happened to Nene. So do you want to be Nene, really? You want to be the head girl? You want to be the breakout star? You think that that's the way to get in, to be in the breakout star, is by taking one of the breakout stars down? What you think? I don't know. Listen, let's go on and talk about this episode. We'll get to it. I'll tell y'all what I saw and what I ran up on, and I was like, what? Okay. First things first. Kenya and Marlo are together, and they're talking about doing a little thing for Sheree. Because they're speaking about how, you know, Sheree was in Philadelphia, stood up by Tyrone and crying, and then somebody got shots and they didn't put it on the internet. So, you know, she's sitting there looking sad. We jump over to Sheree's house. She's speaking with her daughter, and it's just pitiful. You know, she's just pitiful. She's mortified by what happened, naturally. But the thing with Sheree, she ain't ready to let it go. Now, I don't understand that, because I couldn't even imagine being in Philadelphia and you stand me up after I've ridden in a car and paid for it to come to Philadelphia from New York City. And I'm sitting at this little side street, little place, like an idiot, and you don't come. You ain't answering no calls, ain't calling, then didn't even call her back until like the next day. Didn't call until like the next day. She was all the way home. She wasn't even in Philadelphia no more when she spoke. Well, she didn't even speak to him because she didn't pick up the call, which you shouldn't have. You should have never even seen it, because it should have been on block. You should have never even had the opportunity to pick up Tyrone's call, because it should have been on block. He should have been the first one on the top of the block list. But listen, grown woman, you're upset. You're ignoring calls. You got to process this the way you want to process it. And if I was dealing with Sheree, I wouldn't tell her. I seen them doing this throughout the show, telling her, you need to leave him alone. You need to let him go. I ain't doing that. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm trying not to do that. Like, you know, until it becomes like blatant. Like the stuff with Kenya, that's blatant. Like, she need to let Mark Daly go, because Mark Daly don't want to be held. But in this this too, but she's in it fresh. They don't know all the ins and outs and all of that. And she ain't coming to you really saying she's done and she's tired. Kenya's come to us and says she's done, she's tired. We've heard it over and over and over, but it's like she keeps trying to make it work. But just on a regular, I don't make a habit of telling people when they're in their relationships. The heart wants what the heart wants, and only your heart will tell you what the next step is. And I'll just support you as a friend. I'll just support you, you know. But if there's like physical abuse or something with the children involved, something like that, then yeah, I might have to speak up. But other than that, when it's just matters of the heart, child, you got to deal with that on your own, honey. Because at night, when you laying in the bed, I ain't coming over there to get in there with you. So, you know, you got to kind of pull that together yourself. Let's go on. And the whole thing that Kenya and Marlo wanted to do is just a, you know, they just want to boost her morale, you know, help her, make her feel better about herself because she's kind of down on herself and everything. Moving on. Kenya meets up with Drew. Now, they have since last season, they've squashed their beef, and they are actually out having lunch. Who would have ever thought? Kenya goes to telling her, speak of the devil, Mark Daly. She tells Drew that she stayed in New York for a few days after the girls left, and Brooklyn did get to stay one night with Mark, and she was really acting like that was some real big deal. I'm like, I've grown weary of the Mark Daly and Kenya story. Really. I mean, it's like she's trying not to be nasty and not to use Brooklyn as a tool against Mark, but Mark in turn uses Brooklyn as a tool against Kenya, and he whoops the shit out of her with it. It's hard to watch. It really is. It's not the best. But anyway, she's just so grateful, you know. And then Kenya apologized again about speaking out of turn as pertains to Ralph. Well, Drew told her, you didn't speak out of turn. I'm glad you said something, which I didn't get, because no, it was out of turn. It was out of turn. And then they start talking about Sonya. This whole thing with Sonya and what this thing is. And it's a lot. This thing with Sonya putting 20 on 10. She's putting 20 on 10. Like starting to try to make it feel like Drew is auditioning to be her friend. And I don't know. It's crazy. Like, again, we hate seeing Drew tiptoeing behind Ralph. I definitely don't need to see Drew tiptoeing behind Sonya, you know, about being who she is. Well, if what happens with Drew doesn't line up with who you are, Sonya, then that's it. All this extra shit is just that, extra shit. And you putting 20 on 10. She's having this Mommy Nation photo shoot. And she invited Drew, but then she uninvited Drew. After the little conversation and stuff they had when they were in New York. So, it was interesting. It was very, very interesting. When they get to the shoot, the only people that are actually invited is Kenya and Kandi. Okay, so what's up? What's up? I'll tell you what's up. It's called clout chasing. Clout chasing, and it's very opportunistic, is what it is. She basically, and what is this thing? This thing is no more important than Drop It with Drew or Not for Lazy Moms with Monique Samuels. This is your own little business venture. And what you've done, Miss Sonya, is pull Kandi and Kenya blindly into a situation where you're trying to use their star power to boost your brand. And how dare you? How dare you? And, you know, it's different when you have friends that do something and it's not related to that, and they come in and they do something for you, sweetie, Kenya Moore is a model. She's a model. She gets booked for modeling gigs. She gets big checks to do photos. If you see Kenya Moore somewhere smiling, honey, somebody paid dearly. She don't just be running around here smiling and grinning. She is a former pageant winner. And it doesn't matter how many years goes by, that is who she is. Modeling is something that she does, and she gets paid for it. And how dare you book her without her knowing? Slickly book her. Kandi Burrus is a triple threat, if not quadruple threat. She does some everything. She's an actress. She's a singer. She's a songwriter. She does all of the behind the scenes stuff, but she also does in front of the camera. Okay? So when Kandi is somewhere grinning, smiling, and carrying on for the camera, Kandi's making big checks too. Now, modeling gigs, not so much. But acting gigs, yes. Promo stuff. If she's doing photo shoots, it's damn sure for either her product or someone else's product. So there's always a check attached. No one is running around. These girls aren't doing Lego blocks on YouTube and living off of the hits they get from Lego blocks on YouTube. What you're asking them to do is work. Friendship has nothing to do with it. It was a complete clout chase. It was done very opportunistically. It was, is that even a word? We're going to use it. Opportunistically, it was done. It was a bit too much. Just like that word was just a bit too much. It was a bit too much. You were slick. You were sly. And opportunistic. Now that is word. Opportunistic. Didn't like it. It was real slick. I don't like no shit like that. And you chose wisely. You chose wisely. What's Drew Zador? What? The Game been off TV forever. That's what most of us remember Drew from. The Game. When she's on there playing herself. And that's what we most remember her from. It's over. They did a reboot and it didn't revamp her. So, did you really need... You cared less. You chose the two big ones and you swindled your way and you had them get on there and work for you for free. And they were nice and they did it. They were nice and they did it, but they let you down. They let you down that they saw you coming in the back door. Sneaking and creeping in the back door. Come on, Miss Sonia. Anyway. Kandi. Girl, why do you keep driving this situation home about Tyrone having another woman? You keep saying it. Like, I don't know if Kandi even realizes how many times that she's actually been blocked on camera saying it about Tyrone having another woman. I'm like, Kandi, knock it off. You keep putting that in the atmosphere. It's kind of jive, especially with, you know how people put stuff in the atmosphere about Todd, and you know how much you hate that. So I just was noticing that. I'm like, Kandi, not cool, not cool. And you and Sheree are going to bump heads somewhere around reunion time about that little situation. Anyway, let's go on and move on. Let's move on. There's something else I was going to say about Drew. Oh, Kenya told Sonya what Drew said about her not being able to make up her mind about the friendship herself, and that she just kind of felt like she just kind of all over the place, and she's just kind of weird as pertains to that. And Sonya's like, what? So I'm like, Kenya, all right, whatever. Anyway, so, you know, that's what they do, honey. When you say stuff, be able to stand in it, because they always repeat it. Let's go over Marlo's house. Marlo's doing this whole little thing, okay? Now, oh, one other thing. Kenya actually said, I can't believe I'm taking up for Kenya, but I'm taking up for Kenya again. And you know, I always take up for Kenya when it has to do with Mark Daly. But you know, generally me and Kenya be bumping heads. I don't be seeing things. I'm not no Kenya. I'm not no twirl fan. But I got to take up for Kenya because it was there in black and white. When she had that little lunch with Drew, she said that she wasn't feeling all that hot. She said she wasn't feeling so great. That Brooklyn had a little cold after they came back and different things, and she wasn't feeling too great. And then she went to the thing with Kandi and them, and then was the day for the thing with her, where her and Marlo were put together for Sheree. Okay, so Marlo has contacted her little shopper guy from Fendi. He came out and they did a whole in-home Fendi shopping experience for Sheree. Okay? Kenya was feeling bad. She didn't show up. When she came onto the FaceTime, when Marlo was calling, she's like, I'm just not feeling well. I'm not able to do it. Now, she was looking gorgeous. She really was. Her makeup was done, but she was laying in the bed. She was laying on the bed, but her makeup was, she was beat, baby. She was beat. That's to come through here, Miss Kenya. She looked real, real pretty laying here in that bed. But she said, it seemed very genuine. She didn't look like she felt well. She just was made up pretty, but she didn't look like she felt well. And listen, I've seen Kenya's acting. Her acting ain't all that good, honey. I didn't think she looked like she didn't feel well. I didn't think there was an issue. Marlo felt like she was lying. For me, I felt like Marlo was doing Marlo, and what I'm seeing of Marlo lately, she was putting 20 on 10. A lot of this going on in this episode and around in these streets. You wanted to be mad, so you just made another reason to be mad, and the two people that you want to be mad with and you want to throw daggers at seems to be Kandi and Kenya. The two Ks, the two top girls, the two front runners, because that's who they are. Because ain't nobody else running shit but Kenya and Kandi. That's where the mistake was made. And Nene thought she was running shit, and they ran her on out of there, honey. Mm-hmm. Sure did. Anyway, you know, child, I was going to go into Kenya. Kenya thought she could actually do a WWF wrestle with Andy and thought she could win. Good luck. Anyway, while we're doing all this, we see Sonya out with her mom, and they're shopping because Sonya's going to give this little dinner party, and she's not going to give it at the house because you know, right after the pandemic and all that, her furniture orders backed up. Everybody understands that. Listen, I understand it fully. When I moved here in 2020, I had bought all my furniture, everything. I had bought all my furniture for the whole house. Everything was completely paid for back in August. My stuff was paid for back in August in full, and I've got furniture delivered literally in January. In January. I think this couch. Or was it the one? No, my couch that I have downstairs came in December. And everything else started trickling in early January, all the way from August. So yeah, people's stuff was really, the furniture business has been horrible with the deliveries and stuff. So horrible. Yeah, my stuff started trickling in little at a time, but yeah, it had been paid for months and months. So she had that little thing going on, and she's doing some remodeling stuff. So she actually rented out of space. But in the meantime, she's out shopping with her mom for spices and stuff because they're going to do an authentic Jamaican meal. Child, and she's telling her mother about the stuff that's going on with Drew. And then her mother is getting all hyped up, and I'm like, no. Let me explain something to you before you even do that, Mom. There's only one Joyce. So you need not think that you could go run and grab Joyce's spot. That's Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce, the only one to get away with that kind of stuff. Ask Claudia Jordan. Ask Claudia Jordan. The only person that gets away with being a parent and coming on here acting up is Joyce. Because Joyce got them sisters. And Aunt Nora will tell you in a minute, ain't nobody going to do nothing to Joyce. But we only got one Mama Joyce. So I don't know why you're getting all hyped up, talking about what Drew don't want and all that. We not having that from you, Mama. And we like you. Because I think you're beautiful. I think you're absolutely beautiful, and I think you got a whole bunch of spice with you, and you give me that island flair, girl, but we ain't buying it. This is not the show. You got to find another show to show out on. Joyce got that locked down. So, Sonya's in a rush trying to be best friends with Kenya and Kandi, and it ain't going to happen. And you not going to slide into Mama Joyce's spot. Here goes, at the dinner party, Kandi ended up bringing Mama Joyce. Baby. Mama Joyce is the queen of the mothers down to this show. Y'all remember when Claudia Jordan's grandmother came on here and was doing a little bit too much, honey? Child, the people let her, and I said the people, I did too. I wasn't the people. We let Claudia Jordan's grandmother have it, honey. She said a couple little things, honey. We was like, lady, don't come down here with that. Who is you? Who is you, lady? Beat it. We did. It wasn't about. The fans didn't take to her at all, child. Claudia packed up grandma and went on about her business. Honey, doing good over there on Fox Soul. But, girl, we was like, bye, Claudia, honey. Bye, grandma. See you, girl. Joyce is the only shower-outer that we have down here, and she come with 2 other shower-outers, and that's cool. That's the OLG. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. No mama's showing out. We're not having that. Anyway. Oh, maybe try Married to Medicine. You know, they mamas show out over there. You go on over to Married to Medicine and act up. They mamas hit people with purses and everything else over there. Married to Medicine. Let me get back on. Baby, listen. Listen. Baby, Shoot Lucy be over here. Baby, listen. When Mariah was still on the show, Shoot Lucy be over there showing her ass, honey. I'm Married to Medicine. You might want to try over there. Anyway, let me stop cutting up. Anyway, okay, so while over at Marlo's, you know, they did what they did. Marlo basically showed Sheree some tough love. She's like, you know, she let her get her little crowd and basically went there and told her, girl, you need to get rid of him. I was like, damn, Marlo. You know, but and this is the last time I'm talking to you about it, girl. I was like, damn, Marlo. But she did give it to her straight. So, yeah, you looking crazy. They didn't need to sit there and pretend like you ain't. You looking crazy. So that was that. And they had a good time. The 2 of them, they had a good time, and you know, sitting there talking about Kenya. They talked about Kenya and how she didn't come, how she, you know, she's supposed to be sick, but she is sick, had a full face full of makeup and all that. Marlo was planting the seed. I seen it, and Sheree, like, really, you were the bone carrier. That's who we call you, the bone carrier. Why are you? We literally watched this episode. We watched Marlo put a battery in your back and turn it on and push your go button. We watched it. We watched it. That ain't no good look, Sheree. You can't be the bone carrier with Marlo leading you around with a leash on. Anyway. Sonya also told her mother that Drew declined her invitation. She declined. I said, good for you, Drew. 1 point for Goofy Drew. You know, Drew usually does something that makes me get her together at some point or other throughout the episode. She'll do something to make me laugh at her. But she gained a point this time for basically saying, no, sweetie, no. You uninvited me to one thing, and then you're going to invite me to something else right afterwards. I don't need to come to that either, because you're not that important. And that's, and the thing I told y'all, I like Sonya. I like Ross. I like the mother. But this little thing that Sonya got going on, no. Baby, if I was Drew, I wouldn't even be speaking to Sonya, really. I would be at a point with Drew, just this stuff here. the disinvite, and then the invite and the snatchback, all that shit, and then this other invite, we would be on a hello and goodbye basis. I wouldn't have nothing to say to her. Who are you? Who do you think you are, ma'am, that you could pull my goddamn string? Do you know who I am? I'm the bitch that you can't pull her string. That girl, I would be on a high and by with Sonya. We wouldn't be building no friendship. We wouldn't be trying to figure it out or nothing. We'd be on the old girl, get the hell on up out of here, or that would be that, period. Anyway, moving on. So let's go on over here to Sonya's dinner party. Mama Joyce shows up. Everybody gets there. Right away, Sheree's acting shady. She's acting shady to Kenya, acting shady to Kandi. And then somewhere in there, they figure out that the only people that was actually invited to the photo shoot was Kandi and Kenya. They got mad about that. I said, oh, Jesus, okay. And it was just got mad about all of it. But the thing was Sheree was mad at Kandi because Kandi knew about what happened with Tyrone, and she found out while they were there, Sonya's, that Kandi had found out. She said, yeah, I got a phone call about it. But I just, you don't cry and stuff, so I just kind of didn't know what to say. So I just kind of was going to wait till you say something to me, and then we would discuss it. Because, again, we just had that issue, and I didn't want it to feel like I'm talking about you, and I really wasn't. Honey, that Sheree had to flip that. Because, see, her and Marlo been talking smack on Kandi. They sat right over at Marlo's house. They was talking about Kandi. And they've been saying really bad things about Kandi. But they keep throwing daggers at Kandi. So she's like mad with Kandi. And then they was fussing about not being invited to the photo shoot. And said, well, why them? Kandi ain't even nobody that's all that friendly. I said, wait a minute, Marlo. Kandi not the one that's friendly like that. I've been knowing her for so many years, and we still just get close. But that don't mean that that's like that with everybody. Maybe she just don't like your big tall ass. I mean, come on, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? And your behavior dictates exactly why Kandi is correct for not fooling with you. But Joyce jumped in and was like, hey, God damn it. Now, you all don't need to be arguing about this. This is silly. Y'all need to knock it off. See? That's what I told Sonya's mother. See, look. We don't need you, honey. We just need you standing there look pretty, honey. We don't need no more mother figures, honey, for the group. We got one, honey. Did you see what Joyce said? Shut up, honey. Everybody clammed up, honey. I said, get him, Joyce, honey. Leave my goddamn daughter alone, honey. Y'all know how Joyce is, honey. We're gonna leave Mama Joyce alone. Mama Joyce said shut that shit down, and she meant it. I said it. But Marlo, yeah, and then Marlo said, I said, whoa, wait a minute. Now, you could tell they were talking about the plantains. Is it plantains or plantains? I think I'm saying it wrong. I'm going to say plantains. I think I'm saying it wrong, though. But when they were, the mother was explaining how to cook them and stuff, Marlo was talking about them being firm and not, or firm and mushy and not hard. And all, she was being salacious with it. And you can see on Sonya's mother's face like she ain't down for that kind of talk, honey. I was like, oh, girl. I don't know how you gonna do over here, honey, because these girls is, out and about. They say what they want to say. So, but yeah, I seen that little thing. And then Marlo, whenever they addressed the whole situation about the photo shoot, Marlo called Sonya a bitch. She was like, yeah, bye, bitch. I was like, Marlo, like, dang. And then and that was going on, and it was getting loud because they also got the thing started with Kenya. That's what Mama Joyce said, shut it up, because it was Marlo fussing about Kandi and explaining herself to Sheree, and Sheree just wanting to be mad, and then the Kenya thing, and then I'm looking over there, and Marlo's coming at Kenya about not showing up. And then there's this whole thing about, well, why'd you have a face full of makeup? She's like, if you pay attention and you listen, you know I ordered glam because I was coming. I was preparing to come, and it just got too bad, and I just couldn't make it, Marlo. And Sheree is, well, you had on all, you didn't even see her, Sheree. What are you talking about? Shut up. You didn't even see her. You never seen her. You going off of what Marlo said. You got that battery in your back, girl. It's like a D battery. You know, D batteries, they don't even use them that much no more because they're heavy. They're heavy, girl. Watch yourself. We use AAA and AA because they're not as heavy. Chill out. Marlo said, come with me. Now, remember, they're out of another space. This ain't your house. It's not your party. You're not the host. She done pulled her to the side. They done went on out to another spot. She was fussing about the place that she's coming in. Oh, they really want to make this feel like Jamaica. What about it? I said, see, those comments. I don't know about you with this, Marlo. Girl, I was kind of rooting for you, but I think your mouth's going to get you into trouble again. I really do. I think your mouth's going to get you into trouble again. I really do. Because you will make some comments that be really way off, and it's real easy for people to get offended. You know how this goes. The stuff that you would say, I'm not from Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica. But when you were coming into the building and you said a couple little things, and then when you pulled Sheree to the side to go outside, you said a couple little things, and it hit me where I'm like, I know I got some folks that's out here that's from the islands that probably do not care for what you just said. You know, you got that way about you, about saying stuff you ain't got no business saying, and we be excusing you, but girl, you getting too comfortable. You getting too comfortable. Then they go outside. Her and Sheree are out there, and the conversation they had, when I say she was literally dragging. I said, oh, girl, I thought I was over on Treasure Lane. She was she was cleaning up, honey. I said, oh my God. Kandi, them fake bitches, and Candy's a hoe, and her puss ain't no good, and Kenya ain't nothing but a video hoe, and she done ran through all these different rappers and couldn't get nothing going, and this, that, the other, and Kandi is a money mom, and she got a daddy daycare, and oh yeah, and Sheree's steady amening, and then they gonna say, yeah, Candy's selfish. She all for self. I said, really? Really? Oh, and Sonya's just all up their asses. Well, that was true. That was true. She got 20 people living up in that house, honey, and she ain't been on the run around no track in 50 years. She trying to get something going on. She all up their ass, got her head up their ass. Well, all of that is true. But girl, you dragging. Why are you dragging these ladies like this? Nobody did anything, honestly. Nobody did anything bad enough for the way that Marlo was out there on that deck dragging these ladies. She was dragging them. I was like I said, child, just cleaning up. When you're cleaning up, I said, this is terrible. And that was a bit much. Oh, and they're going to say, yeah, girl, puss ain't no good. That's why she always dating outside of her own tax bracket. I said, now you coming for Todd. I said, girl, too much, too much, too much. And then they go back in. They're going back in. And then just when you got a point, I'm going to take it away. Bloop, just like a video game. Drew shows up. Why, Drew? Why are you showing up? You did good. You gained a point by declining her invitation, but now you done came. Why? Make yourself look stupid again, huh? We're going to pick up on it next week, honey. We're going to pick up on it next week. I'll see y'all then. All right now? I'm out of here. Later.